Welcome to today's drive-through journey. In this video, we'll be exploring one of Los Angeles' most iconic stretches, Sepulveda Boulevard, starting at the National Sepulveda Shopping Center and making our way north to Panorama City. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the sights and sounds of the San Fernando Valley as we take a 30-minute ride through the heart of everyday Los Angeles life. We begin our journey at the National Sepulveda Shopping Center, a busy hub of daily activity. The wide parking lots are dotted with cars, while storefronts like Target, local eateries, and neighborhood shops give this place its familiar valley character. This spot is more than just a shopping plaza, it's a meeting point, where people run errands, meet friends, or grab a quick bite before heading home. As we pull out onto Sepulveda Boulevard, one of the longest continuous streets in Los Angeles, we settle into the steady hum of traffic. The sun shines brightly on the windshield, palm trees sway along the sidewalks, and our 30-minute drive officially begins. Heading north on Sepulveda, we quickly find ourselves surrounded by the valley's signature streetscape. Strip malls and auto shops line both sides, each one painted with bold signs and vibrant colors. The road is alive with a mix of cars, buses, and cyclists weaving through traffic. Here, Sepulveda feels like the lifeline of the San Fernando Valley, always moving, always busy, always connecting. Off to the sides, we pass clusters of apartments and small family-run businesses that add character to the neighborhood. In the distance, the faint outline of mountains reminds us of the valley's geographic cradle, even as the city keeps us firmly grounded in the here and now. The boulevard unfolds like a moving snapshot of daily life. Gas stations, local restaurants, and grocery stores pass by in quick succession. At street corners, vendors push carts with fresh fruit, while bus stops fill with commuters waiting for their next ride. Apartment complexes rise behind rows of palm trees, their balconies decorated with plants, flags, and personal touches. Each stretch of Sepulveda tells a story of community, different cultures and backgrounds converging in the rhythm of the valley. Traffic slows near larger intersections, giving us time to notice murals on walls, playful colors on storefronts, and the small but meaningful details that make this boulevard more than just pavement and traffic lights. As we roll further north, we begin approaching Van Nuys, one of the valley's busiest centers. Here, the energy shifts noticeably. Larger shopping plazas dominate the view, from international supermarkets to furniture stores, electronics outlets, and chain restaurants. Pedestrian activity picks up, with people carrying grocery bags, families walking together, and groups of teenagers heading toward local hangout spots. The sounds of the neighborhood feel louder, engines revving, music drifting from open car windows, and conversations in multiple languages mixing into the city's background hum. This is the heart of the valley in motion, a place where cultural diversity shows itself proudly at every turn. Traffic here can slow to a crawl, but that's part of the valley's rhythm, patience mixed with persistence. We pass fast food drive-thrus, taquerias, and classic diners that have been serving locals for decades. Each block feels like a blend of past and present, with older buildings standing next to modernized storefronts. Sepulveda Boulevard is more than a roadway, it's an artery carrying the lifeblood of the valley, connecting neighborhoods and memories. The street is alive not only with commerce but with tradition, food, art, music, and everyday moments that weave together the valley's story. Our drive continues through long stretches where Sepulveda stretches wide, flanked by small parks, schools, and residential pockets. We pass by sports fields where kids practice, and churches where gatherings fill the weekends. Street vendors here bring extra color, with food trucks parked in lots and mobile stands offering everything from pupusas to hot dogs. The drive feels less like a commute and more like a glimpse into the fabric of the community. Every few blocks, a new storefront brings something different: Latin markets, Asian restaurants, and Middle Eastern bakeries, each one adding to the valley's multicultural heartbeat. As we near Panorama City, the atmosphere grows denser. Taller apartment complexes and busier intersections signal that we are entering a neighborhood with its own rich identity. Panorama City has a unique place in Los Angeles history. Built as one of the first planned suburbs after World War II, it has since grown into one of the most vibrant immigrant hubs in the valley. The drive reflects this perfectly, a blend of old and new, tradition and reinvention. Markets bustle with shoppers, music spills out of storefronts, and colorful signage in Spanish, Tagalog, and English marks the city's cultural mix. Driving deeper into Panorama City, Sepulveda Boulevard pulses with life. Sidewalks are busy with shoppers carrying bags, parents guiding children, and groups of friends chatting outside local eateries. Plaza after plaza reveals small businesses that keep the neighborhood thriving, from clothing shops and dollar stores to bakeries and cafes. The smell of street food lingers in the air, mixing with the constant movement of buses, delivery trucks, and cars. Panorama City feels less like a single neighborhood and more like a crossroads of cultures, where every storefront has a story and every corner represents a different part of the world. drive gradually comes to an end here in Panorama City, where Sepulveda Boulevard continues its role as a backbone of the valley. From its origins as a quiet suburban experiment to its transformation into one of Los Angeles's most diverse and lively neighborhoods, Panorama City embodies the evolution of the valley itself. As we roll to a stop, the last sounds of traffic, laughter, and music remind us that this journey wasn't just about covering miles, it was about experiencing the flow of life in the San Fernando Valley. Our 30-minute drive from the National Sepulveda Shopping Center to Panorama City has shown us how one boulevard can capture the spirit of an entire community. Thank you for joining me on this 30-minute drive through Sepulveda Boulevard, from the National Sepulveda Shopping Center to Panorama City. Along the way, we've seen the rhythm of valley life, its busy streets, diverse neighborhoods, and the everyday moments that make Los Angeles so unique. If you enjoyed this ride, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more journeys across the city. Until next time, take care and keep exploring.